Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 10th of March. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And hey, congrats DK for the win. I've been a DK Patreon member for I think like year and a half, 2 years now. I forget exactly, but it's been a good year and a half, 2 years for me, and now I'm glad to see it working out for you too. He does single entry, so it's a lot rarer that the every play comes around like this. And first place was ridiculous. Had like Precious Achua and one other really weird play that paid off for who knows what reason. Do we have to do it again today? I don't know. Don't know on Precious. We'll have to figure. If you know, please tell me in the chat. Did somebody? Tibbs is so crazy. He could run that rotation again in a heartbeat. He could play him 24 minutes. I don't know what's going to go on, but congrats, man. That was awesome. I saw everybody in that Discord was rocking it. I had my own win that night, but it was the showdown. I just knew D'Lo was going to go off, and we got Dinwiddie starting late. And Dinwiddie saved the whole thing with that block, but could have been a little better if he had gotten any other stats, like that last rebound or any other stuff. We were definitely threatening for a solo first pretty heavily, although, do you want to waste your luck on a 30K slate? Probably not. I'll wait for the finals again. Thank you, Haywood. All right, so let's look at where the build wound up for today. Talk about today's slate a little bit. Same. I'm going to run it back. I have no reason to really change the way I played the last slate. It worked out. So I'm going to go back to Cleveland against Brooklyn. Competitive matchup here. Don't understand why Niang and Levert are not being projected for more minutes and usage. That they are getting it. So that's why I have them getting it. Besides that, hopefully you've been able to hear all that with the mic facing a weird direction. Okay, so besides that, I don't like the score in one of the games. Which one was it? Pelicans and Atlanta. So I'm aware that Atlanta is playing differently without Trae Young. However, that difference is not really pace. Like, I guess I can pull up Winky on this. I think that was a recent enough thing that we'll be able to find it. So he does these little summaries after each slate. And, but there's I guess he does a bunch of other stuff too. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. But anyway, he called out the change in the pace or whatever for, oh, right, I put it in the chats too. I'm not sure where I'll be able to find it. But that the way that Atlanta has changed, I think it was 2 days ago. If you're not following him, make sure you're following him, seeing those fun updates. I've really enjoyed. This is like as useful as DFS newsletter is. So, Jalen Johnson, is that it? No, no. Anyway, so there, somewhere in there was that summary. But the upshot of it all is, I think that this game will be higher scoring because it still will be a high pace, and they're just not shooting threes. That was the difference. And if shooting threes isn't effective, then you should shoot threes again. So one way or another, I think New Orleans, Atlanta is being underestimated as a game, and I'm getting to a lot of it. So that's yeah. I'm like, I don't know, 5-10 points above on each team. And when that, it's also, I like those players, like there's a lot of good players on Atlanta today. Let's review. DeJounte and Bogdan is mostly where I'm winding up. Everybody else, it's too spread. We've got Hunter still on a limit, even though his price, whenever he's off a limit, will be good. You can get to Krejci, you can get to Fernando. I'm only playing 20 today, though. That's the other thing. These weekend slates, I don't even make the videos most of the time. I am going to MME today, but 0.5% of my bankroll. These are garbage competitions, and I'm just like, I'm trying to keep the machine well oiled. I feel like it's running well, so I want to pay attention a little. Also, like, Sunday afternoon, I'm sitting around watching basketball. So, yeah, thus the Sunday video. I am actually MMEing today, but only 20, so I'm not getting to some plays that I do think are fine here, Krejci and Fernando. On the other side, New Orleans, what I need to say, play the top guys are fine. Besides that, it's meh. We did get, so on the slate in general, let's talk about the slate in general. Besides the Cleveland guys who I'm just going to smash. I mean, I don't know if the field really is, what is Karis LeVert, 6K now? Almost 7K? You don't have to be 65% Karis LeVert. That's maybe a bit much. But 50, 35, because he's not quite, he does still have to hit shots. I'll go 40. Don't need to be like top percentage there. But, top core guys. Richaun Holmes, if he plays, we did just get a late Q tag there. So if let's talk about if he misses for a second. Tough. So we have to see what they do for Washington. Washington's done two different things this year. Well, number one thing they could do is start Kuzma at the 5. If they start Kuzma at the 5, that's obviously good for Kuzma, and you would get a boost to him above, yes, even this amount. So I mean, I assume I still have a fair amount of Kuzma, 5%. Okay, that's a mistake. So that's an early game though, so I don't have to build this in, and that should SaberSim's been really good recently, so that's why you haven't seen me building any rules. I've been really enjoying the way that their native correlations work with the most recent update. So I'm just rules out until I feel like I get messed up by like, the need for a rule. Like for Sacramento guys, we used to do the wing thing. Let's have a look. Are we approximating Trey Lyles? Yep. He's got that bimodal distribution. I think they might already have the wing correlation built in here, and we don't have to do the thing we were doing with the Sacramento Wings. That's really cool. They can get it with Trey Lyles. He's not like a backup center or anything. Is that what he plays on this team? No, Alex Len. Yeah, I thought that he's the 4. So, it shouldn't be. And what about you? Close versus not close? Yes, for Keegan Murray. Close versus not close for not as much for Malik Monk. That makes sense. For Herder, though, I would expect to see a little. We might need to do some like Herder Monk forking at some point, but I don't think they actually run that like. Oh yeah, Barnes. That's the other guy I wanted to check out. Did we get a weird distribution? Yeah, kind of a laggy distribution where he plays a little bit more. So there may still be something to do, but I like these game sims and the way they're running right now. Oh, the other game, Philadelphia and New York. I think I messed around with some things here. Yes. So the last slate or two slates ago, whenever it was, yeah, the DK slate. So the one we're talking about, because actually, yeah, I didn't really pay attention to how everybody did on the NBA slate yesterday. I did meh that one lineup with so I wasn't paying attention and I had Wiseman in a few, and Wiseman went off like the best play of the entire slate. But yeah, it was also like, I don't know, still wound up at like 335 and dude's putting up like 370, 380 yesterday. Okay, fine. Y'all win. Glad I didn't have very much on the slate because I did not play that right. But, and I mean, I was late swapping and everything, even though I was out there, golf, whatever. But Kelly Oubre today, I don't get this. If somebody can pops a comment in or a tweet or pop in the Discord and let me know what's happening, why Kelly Oubre is 0.6% today. But if that's right, I assume that's just wrong. 4:16 a.m. Maybe I just refresh this. No, there's no updates coming. So I mean, if he's 0.5%, I mean I can't go 50% because I'm not a 100x guy. But yeah, I'm gonna play a ton of Kelly Oubre. He's just very good with none of the other guys in. What are we doing? So I'm doing a lot of Kelly Oubre. I'm doing a lot of Dante D. But I mean, he's a shooter, so you have to limit that a little bit. I'm not sure what to do with Precious. I still haven't decided. I think you got to get to some Precious. I mean, like, you just can't ignore what happened yesterday and be like, oh, maybe he doesn't play 40 minutes again. Maybe he does, like, and same with, I think Josh Hart's being projected for playing 40 minutes now. Yeah, 42 for Josh Hart. And he does, wait, I think that's a little low now. I think, let me check his usage. For Josh Hart, so that's New York, full games with Randall off the court, full games with like a few of these guys. So after the trade, so quickly, and Brunson, and no, Brunson's on the court. Randall is off the court, is the important usage guy. Randall's off the court. We're on Court IQ for those of you who are on the audio. Thank you for joining us, to all of you, as I plug my way through a change that I didn't quite get right the first time. So let's do full games only. Yep, here we go. Josh Hart has played 40 minutes a game. He's averaging 41 DraftKings points per 36. So you can't project. What are we doing? This is an absurd usage. This is very much too low. You've got to give him at least 41. Josh Hart is also core. I don't understand the usages for New York right now. I don't get it. Like, okay, maybe in a lot of these games, let's look in that Court IQ sample, were a lot of those games. Oh, ho, ho. Brunson. Oh, I clicked Brunson out. Okay. Yeah, I was like, that's ridiculous. I do not expect Josh Hart to get that level of usage. That was way too high. We're trying to get a little bit of Josh Hart, but geez, let's be reasonable. This is what we're talking about. So with Quickly, Randall, and Barrett out, full games only. So that's 17 of them. You get a ton of Precious. And so, yeah, okay, let me make sure I get this. Okay, let me do it points per minute instead of per 36 because these guys have weird minutes and I don't want to do fractions. So Josh Hart can be like 1 point ish. He's gonna be just 1.97. Yeah. So didn't need to do that after all. But yeah, so Josh Hart, DiVincenzo are about a point a minute guy, zero point 0.9 for Precious. So if we give Precious 40, you should have him at 36. 36. That was easy. And then so yeah, he did get 40, right? Precious stats. I looked it up. He played crazy minutes. It was nuts. I don't understand it, but it worked. I mean, like you could theoretically see them do it again. So you must have Precious. I mean, he's not going to be 0.5%. And you shouldn't own him 0.5% either. He's definitely a good play. Same thing with like Josh Hart. Why would he be 1.6%? He's so 41 was too high, right? That's what we were doing right now. We put this over here. So Josh Hart should be 0.97 times 40 times whatever the minutes. So let's go to his minutes. Oh yeah, that's about right then. 41. Yeah. 41. We were giving him 42 minutes. So 0.97 times 42 gives you 41. All right. Well, so we're gonna get more of Josh Hart. And let's just rerun the whole thing because this is a mess now. Like, what are we doing with these projections? I don't, number one, I don't know how I would project it. Like, how do you project a guy who is just so different, right? Like, right now, the way Tibbs runs his rotation is really not like anybody else. Nobody runs a guy into the ground that way. Like, guys run him, 36 minutes, 38. But I don't know, man. 40 plus, 42 for guys. I don't know how to project that. I can't blame Saberson for not knowing how to project that. He has a different distribution. Like Thibodeau as a coach in your sim, there's some chance he just goes nuts and never substitutes for the entire quarter. Gotta how do you do that? Like what is a step function probability you have? Anyway, I don't know how to model it the same way other guys do. It doesn't seem like he's a rational actor sometimes. So good job, I guess. Like playing your best guys, I don't know. I don't know who's irrational. Either he's irrational or everybody else. So playing your best guys more, I'm not traditionally a guy against that. So I'll have to think. Dean Wade, gross, dude. What? Saber Sim, you're gonna be on punishment if you pop up more than 30% Dean Wade. Oh yeah, I forgot to go over here. Part of my process now is making min uniques 4. This has just worked really well, and I figured out why. I'll say it one more time for those of you who weren't watching the other day. If you were, fast forward 30 seconds. But it's to get against your priors. I'm doing so many little tweaks over here. Like, I think all of them are the right tweaks, but it's kind of a lot of messing around. And in the case where my messing around is a problem, I want to have my own biases taken care of in the background. So that's where min uniques 4 helps, is that helps me sample to where the bottom of this now. Now I'm getting down to like the things that I have called the bottom third of game sims, but they're still just game sims. They happen like equally often as the other ones. You know what I mean? So that's why I like it. It's not that these are better plays. It does get you to, it's gotten me every single slate since I started doing it this way. I have had more than 10x on a guy who has been the nuts. So that's why to do it. There's just guys at the bottom. It's like in Underdog, there's like a scroll down crew or whatever. It's a way to automatically make your lineups scroll down in a way that's smart. Look at this Krejci. I was just telling you guys, I think you should get to some Krejci. It's fine if you get to some Krejci. In this draft, we're getting some Krejci. Don't care if he's in there or not. I'm not going to double check that I got some Krejci, but that's what I'm talking about. Like he could be the play today. Like I don't think so. Doesn't make any sense that he would be. But the dude gets weird stat lines. I mean, he can put up 20 points in 20 minutes on any given slate. And so I'm fine. Yes, I mean, he's still what, 3.5? 3.4. Yeah, he could put up if he puts up 20 points, he could be the nuts. Anyway, so I love all this. I'm using a lighter touch with SaberSim after having lost every major debate, not debate, but like every time like I'm like, oh, I don't think I should do that. And then like 2 nights ago or whatever, Terry Rozier went completely off and SaberSim, every single swap was like 40%. You got to be 5x on Terry, bud. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I should just let them do it. I mean, like let Jesus take the wheel. What am I paying these guys for? To like second guess them on every decision. If I got a strong gut feeling, good. But if I don't, listen to the guys, man. Like Caleb Martin. I don't want chalk Caleb Martin. What is he getting that? Is he getting crazy minutes? He sometimes goes off, 30 minutes in the last game. He's getting 30 and 33 minutes. You can consider Caleb Martin. Is he really getting those minutes? No, they're projecting it for 27. Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to change it. I've talked myself. See, that's the thing. I got to take seriously, like SaberSim's a good product. I just leave it be. So Caleb Martin, fine. Jimmy Butler, fine. They're in it. What's their game matchup? Is that going to blow out? I vaguely remember being worried about that. Miami, Washington. No, that's the thing. They'll score a lot of points, and maybe they blow out, maybe they don't. But if they blow out, they blow out because they scored a lot of points. So that'll be fine. All right, let's do. So I can do two things. Here's how I'll do it to make sure I have a flow to this in the future. I'll start doing ownership, so what the current chalk is, and then leverage, so what I say the chalk should be. So Cam Whitmore, good chalk. Rashawn Holmes, good chalk. Dean Wade, bad chalk. Darius Garland, good chalk. Butler, good chalk. Caleb Martin, mad chalk. And then Zion, fine. Denny, fine. Yeah, I'm fine with all the chalk, pretty much. I mean, Dean Wade, no, but everybody else, fine. And now that I said it that way, yeah, I'm limiting my Dean Wade just because there's better options all over the place. I'll take any of them. Dean Wade's fine, but like people are just remembering the one Dean Wade game too much. I think. I mean, how many minutes and what's his price? He's priced up to 4K, 30 minutes. And yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you got to consider Dean Wade. Maybe I got a match on Dean Wade. Don't want to be hoist on a petard of Dean Wade. Okay, so besides that, say something. Oh, right. Oh, my leverages. So now we'll do the flow. So yeah, this makes sense. These are the things I've already talked about. So maybe I should just do these first I'll do these first in the future. Karis Levert, Kelly Oubre. You've heard me make my little pitch for them. Josh Hart, if he's 1.6%, is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Stupid. I mean, like, that game wasn't yesterday, right? That was like a couple days ago. If it was yesterday and he played 40 minutes, fine, project him for less. But this is like a couple days now, right? New York, New. Yeah, 2 days ago. So they're going to do the same. I mean, there is no reason to expect them to do something different. So anyway, I'm a little bit flummoxed. Oh yeah, right. We were doing leverages. So Josh Hart, Rashawn Holmes, Darius Garland, Schroeder. Yeah. Oh yeah, Schroeder was like 8% as well. I don't get that. He's getting a few extra minutes than SaberSim's projecting him for in this current rotation. So I think you should pop him a little bit. Niang at 30. Yeah. You can go more Niang if you want, because he can get like some. What are we projecting for his like peripherals? It's mostly him hitting threes, though, right? Like 3 rebounds, 2 assists, half a stock. Yeah, he's a shooter. I think I'm fine with. You can't go too much more. Shouldn't go more on Niang. Probably shouldn't even go above 15%. But just because his opportunity is so high with Donovan out, I'm going to go a little higher, even though he's a shooter. Whether it's 30 or not, who knows? But I like this set. I'm going to upload these now. And remember, you're good enough. You're strong enough. And gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. And congrats to DK and DK's Discord for their big Friday.